Yes, sir.
I can see 30 on YouTube as well. So
आया नहीं सर?
230.
आ गया.
Okay.
All right. So good evening, everyone. I'm sure everybody has enjoyed Eid very much. Eid Mubarak to everyone once again from ICI Dubai chapter and the entire XCOM of ICI Dubai chapter. We wish you Eid Mubarak, and I'm sure each one of you have enjoyed a great time over the weekend along with family. Definitely, you would have been in touch with your peers and your loved ones over the net. So we are again back after 1 week of rest. We decided to talk about something very, very interesting in this pandemic time. And as the time moves on, we all are getting used to the working from home and preparing ourselves towards the new world. And we have done the session on the new norms today, in today's time. Today we have among with us one of the very experienced person and Professor Ranjan Das from IIM Calcutta. We had discussed with him over last week itself that about this particular topic and the importance of getting us ready to face the new challenge. And he discussed about that, the new world which is coming up has a lot of opportunities. So it's a time for us to really look into this time and utilize this time to create opportunities and take advantage of available opportunities around us, and what are the means and ways and tools available to us to encash all these opportunities. He's gonna unwind us and he's gonna talk about all these things today during the seminar, and you all can ask about the questions whatever you have, and whatever the anxiety and whatever things that you have about the pandemic situation, you can really ask these questions, and I'm sure the professor will gonna talk more in detail about this entire session. So without much ado, I would like to ask our chairman, C. Anish Mehta, to give his chairman's address before we get to hear the introduction of professor from our vice chairman. Over to you, chairman.
Yes, thank you, Anurag. Respected past chairman, all those who have joined us, dear members, ladies and gentlemen, respected the eminent speaker, facilitator for the today, Professor Ranjan Das, and my dear managing committee, a very good evening. Since Ramadan is over, and so we have started now, we have changed the timings to 6 o'clock rather than 4 or 5 o'clock. But depending on whether it's a working day or the weekend, we will change the timings. So thank you very much for joining this. Before talking about this event particularly, just want to share that we will be launching a series of 3 workshops for the economic substance regulations. This will be on the next 3 Fridays, 29th of May, 5th of June, and 12th of June. So all the 9 activities will be covered in 3 workshops, where each workshops will particularly discuss in detail 3 activities in each workshop. So this way we'll cover 9 workshops. We have almost 6 of our members who will take these workshops and will be moderated by one of our executive members, Mr. C. Manoj Agarwal. On 30th of May, end of this month, we have a joint event with 6 GCC chapters, and that event is New India Post-COVID-19. And this will be talk given by CA Padma Shri Awardee Mohandas Pai Sahab. On 6th of June, we are in the planning stage, and we wish to conduct one online sessions for the members, where a lot of interest was received earlier about the basic fundamentals of letter of credits and practical implementation in the business world. So that will also be taken by 2 speakers, and out of which one is our dear member. We'll send you the more details. Our executive member, C.A. Sheetal Soni, is working on that workshop. Coming to this today's topic, this we actually discussed just 7 days back when Manoj of the E Square Academia just called me, and he said that lot of online sessions, or you can say seminars are arranged, or you can say certification courses have been arranged by IIM Calcutta, which can be beneficial for the chartered accountant fraternity. So during that discussions, we just discussed about Dr. Professor Ranjan Das, and then we have gone through his profile, and immediately we said that why don't we bring doctor on our platform so that our members can get benefited. So within the last 7 days, we have organized this, and we are thankful to Dr. Professor Ranjan Das to accept our invitation and to talk about this much awaited topic. And you can see the success of this by saying that almost 500 plus registrations have come. And as we speak, I don't know how many people, already 250 people have joined, and few will join more, and some people are watching on the YouTube. So one thing Dr. Professor Ranjan Das is excited about, that he likes a lot of questions. So we'll really encourage members to please ask the questions as much as possible. Other things, as we have told earlier also, if you come over who is in stress or who just needs to talk to someone, the executive committee is here to talk and discuss with him. If you come across any cases like that, please refer to us. And at the end, I will just share one quote on the strategy, or not quote, some few very inspiring lines given by Mark Zuckerberg. Because what is strategy? He says strategy is to take risk. So on that, he has to say the biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that is changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risk. So now things are opening from tomorrow. We have to take calculated risk because ultimately economy has to survive. But I will say, please take due care, whatever you do, and keep yourself safe. Social distancing should be maintained, and keep healthy and wealthy. Thank you very much. Over to our Vice Chairman, C.A. Sundar Nurani, to briefly introduce the speaker of the day. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you, Chairman Saab. Good evening, all the past chairmen and members. Happy to introduce Professor Ranjan Das. He has been associated with several business schools, IIM Calcutta, the Strategy Academy, UPH University, Jakarta, Indian School of Business, Hyderabad, and Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. Professor Das did the doctoral fellow program in management with specialization in strategic management from the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. He holds a Master of Science in Applied Mathematics from the Calcutta University. Professor Das has 44 plus years of experience, comprising 20 years in industry, 24 years in teaching, training, research and consulting, 11 years as an academic and social entrepreneur to design a smart learning and transformation solution. I am happy to introduce Professor Ranjan Das. We wish you all the best members, and as Chairman mentioned, Professor Das look forward to questions, and this is how we need to learn, by asking questions. Thank you. Over to you, Professor Ranjan Das.
He likes to be interrupted.
Yeah, he likes to be interrupted.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Mehta and your executive committee. Thank you so much for inviting me. I must tell you at the beginning itself that the internet condition at my place, I'm speaking right now from my home, which is 25 kilometers from the downtown Calcutta, and the whole Calcutta is in a mess for the last 7 days. When I talked to Mr. Anish Mehta, that day it was one day before the cyclone. So if something goes wrong on the bandwidth, you must forgive me. That I'll try my best to make it happen correct and best way. But in case something happens, you have to help me. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for inviting me. And thanks especially Mr. Anish Mehta. He has talked to me earlier. Anurag, he talked to me earlier. Mr. Hari talked to me earlier, gave me very important insight. I'm not a chartered accountant myself. And yet, look at the topic, what he has been given to me, world after pandemic for CS. So I'll try to venture into the field of CS, though I'm a nuclear physicist by profession, once upon a time. Now, of course, a full-time strategy professor. So in case you have any question on accounting, of course, I can't answer. But I'm going to raise issues for chartered accountants post-COVID area, based on the experience I had as a members of several companies, but now no more. But I must tell you, I'll try my best. Please ask me question. I've been telling Anish about it, and please ask me question whenever you want. Okay. How do you
Excuse
move
me,
that?
Professor, I think your video is not very clear. Maybe if you can little bit adjust your video, that will be great.
How do you adjust? I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't know much
No,
about.
I think it's a problem of internet, Hari. I can see, okay, it's a little blur, but
Okay.
better not
It's in a
to
very bad
share
condition.
this.
It's a horrible condition. I'm getting a notice that internet is going to collapse anytime. And without wasting, I'm not a film star, no problem.
So members can see you, Professor sir. Members can
Yes,
see
sir.
you. We are
ज़्यादा
getting comments.
छेड़छाड़ ठीक नहीं है.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I liked it when one of the gentlemen said, I think Anish read out, that if you don't take risk, there is no life itself, because no risk, no gain. I remember once upon a time, you were the brand ambassador to the company when I was a board member. This gentleman made me a statement to me when he heard that I'm a professor of strategy, and he told me, what you do, professor, that Filmstar told me, and same thing what Mr. Zuckerberg or Mr. Anish told me just now. के लिए कभी-कभी हारना पड़ता है, हार कर जो जीतता है उसी को कहता है बाजीगर. Then I added, क्योंकि बाजीगर भी एक strategist है. You know, you make 10 bits, 8 will go out of the window, 2 will make so much money, you get much more than BSc Sensex. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining here. And I'm going to talk about, you can see about 9 topics all the way. I put my 10 minutes time, 10 minutes here and there. This is my planning as such, the discipline in the business school that you follow. It's a few facts. Take 2 concept discussion, item 2 and 4, where I talk about something called uncertainties. You live with it. How do you look at the uncertainty slightly differently? Another one is talking about how do you respond to uncertainty, of course, which means strategy. In between, I'll talk about some challenges and also talk about responses and the roadmap for the business leader, including here I'm going to bring a few points for the chartered accountants. You'll have to excuse me that I'm getting into your profession. I am not actually, I'm just sharing my experience of 46 years in the field of business, and I'll make some few comments on that. And also talk about open house discussion. Please ask me as many questions. I wish I can see that question myself, but Anish told me that he'll help me to get the question. With that, I start. I'll first talk about item number 1 out of 9, world economic pandemic caused by current uncertainties. I don't need to spend time. You all know we are coming out of lockdown tomorrow morning, and hence you know. But essentially, if you look at most emerging economies living recession in 2020, all countries, the growth rate of the entire emerging market is going to experience something called 2.2%, minus actually 2.2%. And we have to be very careful that minus 2%, and Asia is projected to be the only region with a positive growth of 1%. And good to tell you that India is the only one going to go better than all over the world at 1.9%, including China, which is going to be down at 1.2%. And the big economies like America, Germany, England, Italy, France, they are going to be in mess in the next 12 months. Several economics are going to forecast at a moderate rate. India still 1.9, I told you. But look at Latin America, minus 5.2, Thailand, minus 6.7, and Mexico, minus 6.3. The emerging economy is in a bad shape, but India is still on the spot. India is doing well. We're great nations, but we still have a huge problem to solve. I'll come back to later. According to IMF, the extreme uncertainty around the strength of the recovery. IMF is saying all over the world, we are going to have a real problem in the deeper contraction in 2020 and the shallower recovery in 2021. I doubt myself, but because IMF managing director has said, so I have to accept it. But at this point of time, the position is one of very dismal performance. Look at a GCC. I'm just going to pick up something from the media, so it's not my creation. They are saying Middle East and Central Asian region is projected to grow at minus 2.8 compared to 2019. The oil exporters of the region, primarily GCC, is expected to post an aggregate negative growth of minus 4%. Saudi Arabia, minus 2.3. UAE, in the real GDP growth, is going to slip to minus 3.5%. You all know all these things, but I'm just setting the context, and compared to 1.3% last year. It's going to be a contraction. We call it output compression in our language, output compression. while Qatar GDP is going to project to go minus 4.3%, Oman's projected fall is going to be minus 2.8. We don't need to read it, you know it very well. Move on to Dubai. Dubai, again, I got it from media, I picked up some point. Quickly running through, Dubai has a trouble, big trouble. The biggest thing is interesting to gauge how China's shutdown is going to affect Dubai, because Dubai has a huge dependence on China. Look at this, with a contribution of 100 billion dirham, China is the largest trading partner. I repeat, 150 billion dirham. China is the largest trading partner, and this after this coronavirus, disrupting trade lines and showing panic in global market. Dubai is going to be affected because its biggest trading partner is now in trouble. China's Dubai trading largest trading partner and Chinese export to Dubai will be affected by the factory shutdowns across China and resulting impact on the supply chain. I was showing a video to you right now, and China is supposed to be factory of the world, 20% of the GDP. Have a look at video one. Anish, how do I show it? And because I'm not in control, this video, first one is coming as I think 7, slide number 7. Can you play it now?
You have
Please
to share
help me.
the screen with your PPT.
Is that okay now? Just see.
Yeah, it will take some time to upload. You press share screen, selected the PPT and then click share, right?
1 minute, because I'm new to the system. How do I share? Because I have to go to a slide mode. I go back, and where's the whole thing?
There will be a green button, share screen.
I'm trying to hunt for it. Oh.
So you have to take your cursor down on the Zoom meeting screen. Then it will display.
Hey, Professor Sir, you can see participants, Q&A, chat, share screen is there. Record, the down the screen.
I wish I can see it, you know. I know
Manoj, you have sent us, right?
Manoj?
Yes, Anish, I had sent it to you.
Where, in email?
Yeah, email. Both Anish and Anurag.
Professor
No,
Sir,
I'm
you
not
can
seeing-
go ahead. We can try to locate the video and play. Maybe in the
Lovely
meantime.
video. That's what I'm saying. I wish it disconnect me from the presentation.
No, I will play it. You can continue.
Yeah. So actually, is it working now?
Hello.
Yes, yes.
Hearing me? Hearing?
Now we can hear you. Professor Ranjan Das, can you speak for 1 or 2 lines continuously so that we can see?
Can you hear me?
the
Can you hear the video?
We can hear you, not the video.
No, the main PDF, the main video you can see, China video.
No, we can't see it, Professor.
I think
No,
that's what I'm saying. We change over so much.
The screen is not
Let's
shared
stop
right
it.
now.
Let's go back then. I think videos will not be. I got 4 lovely videos. You know, I don't know why. Anish, you got a PPT, na? PDF.
Yeah, I'm just downloading and then I will share it.
Let's wait for a minute, kindly. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Forgive me, it's my failure. It's my failure that I'm not able to operate from my side because the internet condition in Calcutta is such a bad condition that Mr. Anish Mehta has to take it over. I seek your apology and just give us 1 or 2 minutes time because I've got 4 lovely videos for you. Just allow me, kindly allow me.
Professor, it's okay. Everybody understand that. It's all right. Okay, Professor, which slide is there? This one?
7, I think 7, go to 7. Or 8, this one.
Okay. 1 minute.
Have you shared, Anurag? Otherwise, I have now.
Yeah, I shared already.
Yeah, this is the video.
Just sharing now. Just 1 second. Some technicality into this slide.
Anish, maybe you can try. Anish?
Yeah. The video is not basically playing, that's a big thing.
Yes.
Try, Anish, actually this video is not playing.
Yeah, I think some issues with video.
Not
Because
playing? Okay, leave it out. I suggest you, let's move on. Let's see the next video if it comes. Otherwise, we'll not do at all. We'll try once more the next video. This one you leave out. Essentially, this video is saying that industries across the world and including countries across the world have noted that too much of dependence on China. In 2018, when China really joined what you call the WTO, China was only having 4% of world GDP. Now they have 20% of GDP of the world. And now 2 countries, particularly USA and Japan, have decided to withdraw from China. Japan particularly have invested a dedicated 20% of its GDP to incentivize companies to leave China and come back either to Japan or go anywhere, but come out of China. The point I'm trying to say is that your largest trading partner has now economic and emotional backlash. And that we have to take care. Moving on to the next item. Is it working? So moving to the next item, essentially I'm talking that there are real problems. Some of the Dubai economy, you can have a look at some data. Third bullet point, Emirates, for example, has offered paid and unpaid time off for the staff, mirroring the response of other airlines in the area like Lufthansa. However, coronavirus is likely to lead to lower aggregate global demand. Its short-term opportunities to offset lost revenues will be scarcer. Measures are likely to focus on cost cutting. In other words, I'm making a statement, Dubai-based companies will be focusing more on cost cutting because the growth is not going to be there whole 2020, even part of 21. Dubai index is generally on the decline, led mainly by the decline in banking and the real estate sector. The last item is interesting and I want you to read it. Dubai continues to attract new businesses despite economic challenges worldwide. The Emirates Department of Economic Development continues to issue more trade permits, while Dubai International Financial Center, the largest financial hub in the Middle East, issued more licenses in the first 2 months of 2020 despite coronavirus fears, and that's increasing, which shows a continuing optimism in Dubai. I must compare at this point of time is what's happening to India for a while. For those of you who are interested, there's an output compression of 70% of our GDP is affected. The 70% of our GDP affected by 15 industries, we have an output compression where they say that if the lockdown continued beyond mid-20, which has happened up to 1st of June, beyond mid-20, some of the industries as high as 40 to 80% in case of industries like airlines, auto, hotel, textile, and oil and gas. And in the case of agriculture and telecom, it's 5 to 10%. The chairman of the Niti Udyog, Amitabh Kant, has said that 38% jobs are lost in the month of April itself. Now, here is the video 2. Anish, can you help me? It is coming, I think, in the slide number 10. Can you try that video 2? If it doesn't come, we won't try anymore. Video 2.
Anish, you are speaking on mute. You are speaking on mute.
Just see it's possible, otherwise we'll forget it completely. Actually, unfortunately, I have no control because of poor internet. Anish has kindly offered me the service. I should not be taking his service in this way. But
yeah, but I think video is not working right now. We have to see, because I think the video files will be in your laptop where the hyperlink is there.
yeah, as I told you, when Dhaka just played it, it went for a PPT, but you say you make it a full screen. That's why it did not, I don't know. I have no answer. Should I
If you
leave
can
out?
if you can send the link, Professor sir, probably we can click the link and see later on. If you
Later,
can
I
send
think
the-
we can do it later. I think let's
Okay.
carry on because I'm more interested in the good questions coming from a chartered accountants. Anish,
We actually tried earlier, we tried. So if you can share your screen, probably it will work.
that's what I'm saying, that if you allow me to upload the PPT, not the slides, the video should do what?
Yeah, you please do the PPT. Just share a screen and put your PPT.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It worked in Dhaka. Can I try? Give me a minute time.
Yes,
But you
yes,
help.
yes.
Okay. Please
Please
help me a
give,
little
yeah.
bit. huh? I'm just going back. This is my PPT. Am I sharing this or not?
Yeah, right now you are on the Zoom screen, right?
This PPT, can you see what I'm doing now?
No. First you have to click the share screen,
Share screen.
that green icon which you have
I'm
on
assuming you
your
are on.
on
Yeah.
your Zoom screen.
Professor, please go to the Zoom
Chairman
app.
sir, please remove the spotlight from the professor sir once so that he can see the full screen of the Zoom.
I'm not looking at the full screen. That's what I'm saying. Full
Yes,
screen.
now if you can, Professor, if you can see the full screen, then you will see below
I'm not
participate.
seeing the full screen. There's
Yeah,
nothing I'm
Mehtaji,
finding in terms of that green thing. You try to start.
Can you please change to the, from speaker views to the normal view?
Can you see
Sir,
Manoj Agarwal in the screen?
Move your cursor and you will be able to see the icons.
Move my cursor.
Can you see something on the bottom? On the bottom.
I cannot see. That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Bottom top somewhere it should come. I've seen that before also. This evening also. I'm not finding the
Sir,
picture.
your picture is coming as a full screen in the screen or in a block?
My picture I cannot see even. My picture I'm not seeing even.
You are using Zoom or you're using Zoom Lite?
You gave me the link now. I'm using your link.
In between, it went to Zoom Lite. I think the video became smaller.
Mhm.
I think we need to sort out outside. So let's not.
I think let's carry on now. Forget about videos. Can I carry on?
Yeah, please. In the meantime, we will see, and if it's working, then we will play it.
Because I'm myself surprised that I did the same thing about only 2 years ago in beautiful in Dhaka. Why it's not working? But it was PPT, not like this. But I'm not getting that what you call, Anish, you just told me that thing. That one share all these things.
Share screen.
I'm not saying that at all. Somewhere, anywhere.
I'm sharing your screen. If you can start the PPT, like if you accept the videos, we can play the PPT.
Yeah, I'm saying I'm sharing.
Now I have done it.
I think you are talking to as a illiterate person mostly. That's why the whole condition is happening. I'm so illiterate. I must tell you. So my apologies to you. I'm not able to do what you are helping me, but I'm not able to see that.
If you can continue with the session, then it will be okay. You can continue with the session.
Now on your screen, you even can't see your PPT also, which I have shared.
I can see a small PPT which you have shared with me, but
Yeah.
I'm not bigger than anything else. Yeah, now I can get it. View options. I can see my video now.
Mehtaji, आप इसको full screen कर दें, screen को, and then let us continue on the PPTs.
The screen is full screen only here.
No,
Actually, it all depends on the person who's watching, how he's setting up his screen.
Yeah,
Mine
it's
is
exactly that way.
full screen means you need to blow up that screen from the down right side.
Presentation mode.
You make it. I think I will get the make it full screen. I'll be possible. If you can make it the full black.
Press F5.
I'm not able to make it that one.
Yes, click on that. Yeah, perfect.
Now just try in this. If you can play
I'm not seeing
the
anything.
video.
I'm not seeing anything till yet.
Professor, is this beyond video?
Let's go ahead with the talk, and then later we can see the
Yeah,
videos.
I thought I should go. I told you, let's forget the video and let's go out to the talk.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, please.
Am I inside?
You can
Can you
run
hear
your
me?
own PPT on your system, and then you can share the number, like which slide you.
Absolutely. I
You will
think,
flip
I think
that.
now that's practical. That's what I'm saying. Let me go ahead, forget about the video. So what I was trying to tell you, I mean, it's a lot of dramatic things are there, of course, in the video about it. And I wish I can check it again, log in once fresh and with the PPT and do it. I want to do it that way. I feel like doing it. Almost. I'm feeling very irritated with myself.
Okay, then you can log out and just log in again.
I think, oh, where's the link? Let me see. I myself going to kill myself.
I think, Professor, you can leave the meeting and then join with the link again. Link will be on your email. Till that time, we just chat with our members.
Hello, everyone. Yes, we sincerely apologize for the inconvenience caused to all of you due to some technical issues. We tried and we run through the entire slide deck, but unfortunately, due to some the issues, the presentation cannot go through that easily. We tried to work out other solutions, so we understand that the time, and we sincerely apologize. Let the professor come again while he joins again. We'll continue the session. In the meantime, if you can all share some of your experiences, what you have done during the Eid break, something interesting.
Anurag, just a moment. I think Kuldeep Mathur, you have raised the hands and I have unmuted you. Can you please unmute yourself and tell what is the concern? Kuldeep Mathur. Darshan Kumar Gadia also has raised the hand. Suresh Panwar. If you don't want, yeah, Kuldeep.
Kuldeep, yes.
No, sir, it was by mistake.
Okay.
Okay, please lower your hand.
Done. This is done.
Suresh Panwar.
Suresh Panwar Sahab, I'll allow you to talk. You can talk now. Kindly unmute.
Suresh Sahab is not unmuted.
I think
Darshan
generally
Vijay
people by
Arvind.
mistake just raise the hands.
By mistake, maybe. Yeah.
Darshan, Biju, Vijay Shah.
Arvind Malia. Arvind sir.
Hello.
Yes, Vijay.
Anish ji, good evening. मैं बोल रहा था कि can somebody take the TeamViewer for him and support him, because I think we can guide him remotely by taking the TeamViewer.
So we are pretty much aware of the situation and we try to work it out. But there are some other issues actually in that relation. That's why.
And one more thing, have you shared the PPT with all the members? Because if we are not able to see the PPT on the screen, at least we can see in our screen.
No, screen, we all can see the screen, only professor couldn't see. I'm sure when I shared, you were able to see, right?
I could see, yeah, I could see her.
Yeah, so it's
Okay, okay, fine.
issue with
Let's see.
his
Okay.
screen.
Anurag,
Okay.
you have a singer just behind you. Can you call her to just maybe entertain us for some time?
No, that Anurag planning is for some social event of chapter.
Correct.
It's
I
still
thought-
in making. It's still in making.
Okay, I
Yeah.
thought he's available, so.
Something very interesting that is coming up. So we are planning for, in the month of June, we're planning something very, very interesting that, it's, and a lot of learning is there. Of course, we have done a lot of learning. So it's time for us to really think about something interesting, something entertaining, something rejuvenating. So That's what, like, I'm working on that for quite some time with the chairman. So let's think about the concept, and we'll try to launch during this week. Let us see, unveiling the talent of the members. So something about that, unveiling the talent of our members, because there's so many talented people are there.
Already people are saying looking forward to June event.
Now Anish is saying just hold the thoughts now, because the message.
Yeah. Don't disclose too much.
Okay, one new thing I think has happened today on FTA information related to tobacco. I'm sure Anurag or someone can just give a highlight on what happened. Maybe we know what happening across the market.
You started share that now the full details.
Only the limited information which we received, which came in Khalij Times also, that the digital stamping which was due recently has been shifted to 1st January 21, predominantly for the raw tobacco and electronic devices. I think the information will be available with all others. So I thought we can utilize the time. I thought we can utilize the time for some right things. So Sundar Saab, anything happening on your segment from audit perspective or something within UAE?
Remote working and more emphasis on the going concern aspects of the business considering the COVID. That is what auditors are more focusing nowadays, and challenges due to remote working.
See, I think it's very important, in fact, for all of us to really think about the work from tomorrow, because tomorrow 50% of the work population is allowed. So 50, as per Khalij Times, they're allowing like 50% strength now in office, and most likely all the sectors will open now, and the economy will look forward towards revival. We all are spending. I'm not sure that how many of you are going for shopping or doing online shopping or not shopping at all.
Okay, and now
Professor,
video is working. Now, why is my share screen I do? Why the thing why I share?
Secretary sir, there is a request for you. If you can speak with FTA about the deferment of payment.
Manoj ji, your question.
हमारे साथ we have Mr. Abbas Ali Mirza with us. So, sir, few words of wisdom from you, if you can unmute yourself. And I know you will not share the video, but
I've just unmuted myself. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Mirza.
Well, I just wanted to I'm so happy to see that under your leadership, and of course with the support of the great managing committee that you have, which is, I think, what you've done is unparalleled. Nobody thought that even during these lockdown period, you will do so much of learning, which is, I think, an exemplary thing that you've done. So I'd like to congratulate the entire committee, of course, under your leadership, and Sundar Saab's and Anurag ji and all others. It's actually really, really good to see that, we're all learning so much during this lockdown. So
yes, sir, IFR is still pending, but.
Well, that we can do anytime you want. I mean, I just saw that beautiful clipping behind Mr. Anurag that made me so happy. Something about music coming up. It made my day, Anurag ji.
Thank you, sir. We are looking forward to your support.
Actually, made a video.
I think we are back now.
Yeah, and good thing is we can see your screen. Yes.
Yes, Jay, if you can guide him how to blow up and how to make it full screen.
Professor, sir.
Can I play it?
Yes, but okay, go ahead, play the video.
This video played in Dhaka so well that day. Is it playing or not? Can you hear?
It says it's fighting to. Video is playing.
Here?
No, video is playing, but voice is not there.
Yes, sound. Huh?
Sir, voice is not there. I think you have plugged in your earphones there on the video. Video is playing. Only thing is we are not able to hear the voice. Can you unplug this microphone which you have plugged into the laptop? Sir, you have gone on mute.
Sir, headphone. If you can remove the headphone plug from the laptop, then we can listen the voice of video as well.
You are on mute right now.
Yeah. And you can just
Professor Ranjan?
full screen.
Professor Ranjan, you are on mute right now.
Are you saying you can hear the sound better now?
We can hear your voice. If you unplug your microphone.
I'm taking out the headphone.
Now please play the video. Now
I'm
please.
playing once more. Can you just see? Is it playing?
Okay, go ahead. Something is happening. Yes, we can see the video playing, but there is no voice. We cannot hear any voice, but the video is playing. I can see the numbers going, breaking news is coming in, but I cannot hear the voice. No, I cannot hear the voice. This is just the, this will increase the, no, this will increase the PPT side. So you have to go back.
Just wait. Professor Saab,
I think
are you able to hear me?
Complete video.
Are you able to hear me?
Let's come back. Let's go back to my. Is that okay, Ms. Anish? Can I start with this without video? Drop the video completely. Is that okay? Can you hear?
I can hear you.
Hear me? Some feedback from me?
Yes, sir. We can drop the entire video. I think Anish is saying we can drop the video and we can continue with the PPT. Only thing is put in the slide mode so that everyone can see the entire.
Can you hear me, please?
Sir, am I audible? Hello. Sir, you have to plug in back. You have to plug in the microphone back because. Sir, we can hear you. You have to just plug in your microphone back. Professor Ranjan, sir, can you hear me? You have to plug in your microphone back. Can you plug in back to the laptop?
Manoj, I'm not able to I'm back. Put it back. I think that all spoiled it, all kinds of fashion spoiling my whole thing. It's not going. No, it's not open, but can you hear me? Can you hear my PPT? Can you hear me, please? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Your voice is audible.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Professor.
Hearing anything?
Yes, we can hear you.
I think it's a show.
We can hear you.
Manish, can you tell me something? Are you hearing or not hearing?
Yes, we are hearing.
I think I think there's a technical.
Let me start from here then.
So there's a technical glitches.
Out.
We can hear you, sir.
See, let's start from the second part of the story. The first part is gone, and let me start from the second part of the story. What is called uncertainty, and this particular situation that you're trying to display in pandemic is essentially uncertainty. The point I'm trying to say that we need to understand uncertainty to make three kinds of decision that aims to make a big bet, or hedge, or wait and see approach. It's an important issue for the strategist. You either take a big bet, or you hedge, just protect yourself, or wait and see, okay, what can I do? The problem is that in a relatively business environment, life is easy. It's binary, either stable or unstable. But in a real life situation like pandemic, you got a complete different picture altogether. In a binary situation, making a discounted cash flow is so easy because you have one forecast for the next 5 years or 10 years. You got a complete picture in place and you have no other view. Everything is certain. The point I'm arguing to you that life is not actually like that. It's not going to be binary anyway. But at the same time, it is wrong to say that managers don't know anything about the future. As a matter of fact, my belief is that managers know 80% of the thing that's going to happen in the next 5 years or so. It's only the last 20%, call that residual uncertainty, where you have to play your mind. You have to think for a while, what is the 10, 20% I don't know? So I'm making a statement here, have a look at it. The best practice will be to avoid a binary view of the future and start believing that managers know quite a few things about the key industry drivers, even in the most uncertain environment like pandemic. In fact, managers usually can identify a range of potential outcomes, even a discrete set of outcomes. So it is wrong to say that the next 5 years we don't understand anything. I do professional strategy consulting. For me, the last 20%, which remains uncertain. The first 20% is going to be quite steady, it can be seen. Let me make one point clear. Not everything is going to change. Sun is going to rise in the morning. The daughter-in-law, mother-in-law syndrome will continue. They will not change. 9 months pregnancy cycle will not change. What will change? A little bit of things here and there. So all you need to do is to take a look at 20% of the time, thing that you don't know. And I've got a model here for you to see. Have a look at it. Is that the point I'm trying to say, we need to understand what is called residual uncertainty, which means that about 20% of the future is really uncertain, and how do you manage that uncertainty? Is the first 80%, you can logically think and find out what's going to happen in the next 3, 4, 5 years. So we're talking about residual uncertainty now. There are 4 possible uncertainty about this 20%. It presupposes I understand the 80%, the last 20%, there are 4 possibilities. One is a clear future. The second is only 2 things on that future. Either this can happen or that can happen. The third is a range of futures. And the fourth is true ambiguity. And somebody said the other day, Professor Dutt, probably pandemic has brought us to the 4th condition, the true ambiguity. But quickly run through the meaning of these 4. First is a clear future. A simple example is a large airline trying to develop a strategy against a low-cost player. It's very simple. Low cost will come with no frills airlines, and they will get the market share the way Indigo got in India. The many people tried to enter that space, but Indigo did the best. Of course, they are not doing best at the moment, but they did very well. But Kingfisher also saw the world completely differently. They missed it. They read the thing totally wrong. As a result, they went wrong. So a clear enough future is not applicable to pandemics. Then come the second one, alternate future. There are only 2 options. One is, for example, a capacity planning. You must be knowing the chemical plants adds capacity by 1 million ton, 500,000 ton, 2 million ton, 3 million ton. There may be possibility people say, well, economies of scale is 5 million ton like in aluminum. Okay, let's maybe 2 million ton and 5 million ton. 2 options. You can still see the future. If they expand by 2 million ton, what will happen? If they expand by 5 million ton, what will happen? And that's why you use what you call a decision analysis, the option valuation model, and a game theory. As we go along, things are becoming complex. Now that the third is uncertainty. I want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the last 20%, the residual uncertainty. The first 80%, I'm sure all of us know quite a bit. The last 20%, third possibility, is a range of futures. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 5 scenarios can come. So I say, wrote here like this, a range of possible outcomes, but no natural scenarios. What you do, a latent demand approach, the technique available in the technology forecasting, but I love the word scenario planning. The 25 of us sit together, come up with a 5 scenario. Only one will happen. By discussing more and more people, we can probably freeze on 1 particular or 2 particular scenario. There's a possible thing. So bring down from 25 to 20 to 15 to 5 to 1. Please remember, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot develop strategy against 20 scenarios. Strategy is like you draw the strategy for the future against a canvas. If the canvas keeps moving like this, you cannot draw. So while you started with 25 possibilities about the future, ultimately through discussion and sharing of data, you have to come to a position. There's a job of the chief executive officer, there's a job of the business leader, there's a job of the chief strategy officer. You cannot impose your thought process. Then you'll be wrong. You allow the 25 people to see each other's viewpoint, come to a focus area and say, this is what's going to happen. End of the day, nobody can say what will happen tomorrow. But the fact is that 25 people sat together, thought about it, heard each other, and everybody was allowed to express their opinion. the chances that you'll come to a certain conclusion. We call it range of futures, and we call, suppose you are entering emerging markets is one such area, which market will open. Right now, there's a condition. Should I invest in China? Should I invest in Japan? And people are saying, Professor Das, we are going to invest in Vietnam and Indonesia. India is not as battered as China, USA, Japan, or anybody else. But India is still a difficult country, but Vietnam and Indonesia are great countries to invest. So that is the kind of range of future where exactly you're going to do. The real problem is here, the true ambiguity. You're not able to understand which way to move. The outcome of COVID is one such example. Development of twin pandemic, economic and coronavirus. Which country will first develop the first deterrent against the pandemic of the kind of the world? They said Oxford will bring. Somebody said Italians will bring. Somebody said Indians will bring. And you have to think about, how do I manage uncertainty? Because the vaccine is one thing, the other is how to save life and livelihood. And there is no trade. You cannot say I only life and only livelihood. And that we cannot be like Trump, who said only livelihood, or you cannot be like India, initially say only life. Now we are saying both. In other words, the ambiguity relating to the last 20% can be all kinds of things: a clear picture, an alternate picture, several possibilities, and finally, truly ambiguous. My take is that right now, with the information available, we are right now in a truly ambiguous situation. I do not know if anybody is asking me a question. As I told you, Anisha, I'm very comfortable when I see question, because to me, the questions are the live, questions are the answer. In strategy, questions are the answer. Answers are all known. What is not known are the question. And because managers don't ask the right question, they end up getting wrong answers. I'm more interested in the question, but unfortunately, I cannot say anywhere any question because I'm not able to understand whether a lecture. Manoj, can you hear me? Can you just say it like this? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Manoj, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. I can
Say
hear you.
yes. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
That might be during uncertainty. With a special COVID I've taken as a part. There are 7 challenges I've articulated. You can say, why 7? Why not 70? Well, as a professor, as a consultant, I found 7. One is we are entering a new normal. Everybody knows it. If you believe that you'll go back to 23rd March evening night in India, or wherever the lockdown came, exactly as it is so stupid to say that. Do you know that? Life is not going to go back. What is happening is a dress rehearsal. You have not seen what's going to happen. And the point I'm making, despite the fear of the unknown, I told you truly ambiguous, the pandemic and the subsequent economic challenges present a defining moment. This is the time in strategy college, this is the time to go for the kill. You know, in strategy, they're just saying that what is the best time to win market share? The best time to win market share when things are bad. Why do you think Reliance is going in a big way with Facebook and somebody else? You know why? Because your competitors are in trouble. You are also in trouble, but by taking those aggressive action, you're going to control market share. Best way to control market is not a good time. The best way to make money is the bad time. I know about IIM, when India went to recession in 2008, 9, 10, and even now, the IIMs are making tons of money. You know why? The other business school can't match IIMs. We don't make that much of money compared to what we do now. The point I'm saying, what you're seeing is a dress rehearsal. The question is whether you will be covered and lying down. I said, this is the time to make it. Mind it. If everything is perfect, number 1 will remain number 1, number 2 will remain number 2, and if you're number 5, you remain number 5. But when everything went for a difficult period, number 5 have a chance. Even I have a chance to win. Even I have a chance to win. The number 5 can become number 1. So Reliance entered last in the telecom market. It's now number 1 in the market. Just in a span of 4 years, they made it, and Airtel is crying. And I think this guy is correct. Mukesh Ambani said, the big boys don't cry. We are big boys, we should not cry. So what you are saying, the dress rehearsal. This is a defining moment. My question is, business have the opportunity to emerge as a much stronger position and deepen relationship with customers and trading partners. I know big accounting firm, big consulting firm, I know what they're doing. They're trying to get one step forward. This is the time put PwC in trouble. What we call Accenture in trouble. This company in trouble. That company in trouble. They're talking privately, and I'm lucky that I'm a part of the show when I hear that this is the time. That company cannot adjust to it. I can. I've got a cash box in my company. I can manage it better. I can downsize my people better. I can reskill my people better. I have a better talent pipeline. I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is the best time to act. So the challenge is, can I use this rehearsal to get ready for the next skill? The next is, while the cost matters, yes, cost matters. Somebody said, I told you previously, people are thinking cutting costs. No, the focus has to be customer relevant. Will you remain relevant to the customer? Well, in the coming days, mind it, I mean, customers are in trouble. People are in trouble. They are not getting paid. What can you do to solve their problem? Look at this. So please, are you willing to treat your customers, your ecosystem partners, and employees with generosity and kindness that is expected from a company like yours? Ladies and gentlemen, investment in generosity and kindness is going to see you through in the post-COVID era. The customers will remember, we are in trouble, and here is a company is going to help me out. Now you might say, what about your cash flow, Professor Das? Who is going to fund your expenses? Well, that's what the strategist is there for. On one hand, we'll cut costs. On the other hand, we'll create opportunities, and both will go side by side together. Revenue and cash will fall faster than your cost. You know that? Cost will keep increasing 10%, 20%, 30%, and revenues will fall 25, 30, 50. Peculiar condition, cost is going up. Cost is something, it never comes down, it goes up, up, up. Revenue is going down, down, down. Imagine after 1 year, what will happen to your cash flow. Imagine after what will happen to your EBITDA. You have to focus on your value proposition, very important value proposition. Can you re-energize customer intimacy? You know, what does it mean? You know, the social distancing, intimacy is a bad word. Customers are facing lots of pain points, but they have no incentive, no motivation to tell you, these are my pain points, can you come and solve it? Because they don't believe you. They don't think you pay attention to it. And those who can really get customers confident that, yes, I can share, the customers say, I can share with this company, I can tell you they will win. Similarly, reimagine value proposition. Why the word re? The company is a going concern. Re means reimagine. What is that you can offer to the customers, which customers will love it? But the competitors cannot copy. Ladies and gentlemen, the value proposition is not your product. Value proposition is not your standard service. Value proposition is solving customer pain points, and this pain point during pandemic is something real. You have to get, and this is why when you talk about customer intimacy, the chartered accountants have to come in a big way to help the salespeople to do customer profitability analysis. It's a subject by itself. I teach at IIM Calcutta customer profitability analysis. If you don't know how to run the analytics, the CS will have a serious problem, because nobody will be requiring any of you for keeping books of accounts. I'll talk about that, what is called a knowledge resource in the chartered accountant in the coming days. The other thing is that reignite operational excellence. Now that you are going to meet customers' pain points problem, now that you are going to have a new value proposition, obviously you are stuck with a fixed cost, with a plant and machinery, with a service center, which cannot change as rapidly. How can you set your business process in such a way? Same assets with some addition and subtraction are producing the new value proposition by changing the business process. In other words, real imagination should be, how do you connect customers' pain point with a value proposition which customer truly want, and which you can deliver by changing the business process, and you get a higher EBITDA percentage. Don't try to do any business where you have a less than 20% EBITDA. I know it differs from company to industry, but let's put this way, you cannot get a valuation anything less than 20% EBITDA. Whatever reasons you give me, you have to have that, and you get it provided you make customers feel that you are friendly to them. Once you make them feel that you are the most friendliest supplier or the friendliest service provider, customer will eat from your hand. Please remember, customer's biggest pain point is that he doesn't know the driver of his own industry. The biggest pain point is that his money getting stuck. He doesn't know how to become competitive, have a competitive advantage in the marketplace. You go and help him. But for that, you have to study customer's business. And if you're not willing to do that, don't cry on my shoulder. I'm not going to hold your hand and hold your anything. Solve distribution crisis. And of course, please communicate clearly. When you work from home, customer might feel that you are not paying attention to them. So please take care of what you are communicating. See that every point of the value chain, what you do, customers understand what you're doing. That I told you a point, the customer relevance is going to be. These are the 7 challenges in the pandemic. Once more, I go back and show you what did I say. One challenge, we are entering a new normal, accept it. If any of you is thinking that we can go back to 23rd March in India, just forget it. Second is a positive orientation. This is a dress rehearsal you are going through the first 60 days, 65 days, 70 days. Now you ready to say, this is a defining moment and I'm going to control the future? Because otherwise, I was number 5 in the team, in the industry. This is going to give me a chance to become number 1 industry. This is a defining moment. And then I'm saying the next point is that cost is important, but never lose a customer. Revenue and cash will fall faster than the cost increases. Similarly, business will look for those changes, solve distribution crisis, another thing. We move on to the next item.
Professor, one question.
How do you, given the uncertainty, how do you achieve excellence?
Professor, sir, one question. Can you hear me?
I met people in Dhaka, Kuala Lumpur, and Dubai, and now everywhere else. A question I find faced with these uncertainties, how owners and managers, including the chartered accountant or all those certified, of course, they are not saying anyone here chartered accountant should fail. Sense of hopelessness or a great opportunity to establish one's ability to lead the next revolution waiting to take place. I raise my hand. I'm going to be there in the second part. This is a golden moment at the twilight of my life. Mr. Mehta, all my respected chartered accountant, at the 71 year at the twilight of my life and career, I think I'm lucky that I got it. I got it. The best chance to prove once more that we are the best. So look at these 3 diagrams. Uncertainty. The biggest decision. Don't talk about strategy. First, talk about what strategy is supposed to achieve. Knowing the uncertainty, let's say truly ambiguous, that 20% is going to define the future. There are 3 stances you can take. This is not strategy. It's a posture that if I do the right strategy, I'm going to do these 3 options. One is shape the future. Future, one can say, is not under your control, but the performing companies say, whatever future will happen, I'll shape it. A good example is Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs said, this is the way the personal computing will be. The personal computing will be mobile computing and not laptop. Bill Gates said he's the most irrational person in the world in 1999. He's a failure in Mac, and now he's going to be a second-time failure in mobile computing. In 2008, I wish to meet Mr. Bill Gates. Tell me who is the most irrational. He has missed a complete path because his theory is, what is this? Remote control of your screen. Is
yes,
that correct?
Just click. Yes, just say yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear.
So shape the future. The future is following the strategy. There are some people whose strategy will be one and the rest of the industry will follow him. I hope one point I want to make it very clear because many people have a confusion. The future is uncertain, I have no doubt about it, okay? But my statement is 80% you know, 20% don't know. You need some technique, you need help. But if you say the future is made by God, hence I can't do anything, nothing can be more rubbish. So Microsoft bad luck started in 2008 or before that also, is not because of God, because he did not pay attention to initially mobile computing and later on cloud. Now, of course, they have picked up. I mean, things do not become bad. If Airtel is in trouble in India today and Vodafone, it's not God has made it. Mukesh Ambani made sure that you become that what you are. So the strategy on the above the future. So future will be made by those who take this position. Go back to the previous slide. How to go? I have to go to the previous slide. Yeah. Next is adapt to the future. There are some people who said, I'm not as brilliant as Steve Jobs. The future will emerge as the interaction of all kinds of things, but I am going to adapt to the future. Wherever it comes, I'm always ready, agile to make it. So Microsoft said, I am this type, adapt to the future. Why? He said, look, MS-DOS is not my product, somebody else's product. I made it Windows. Internet Explorer is not my product. It was somebody else's product called Netscape Navigator. I made it so and killed Netscape Navigator. Third time, I wanted to enter mobile, is of course backfired. I bought Nokia. Google said, yes, I did Google Gmail. I got the search engine. But Android is not my product. It's somebody else's product. I adapt to the future. It will talk about say YouTube is not my product. I acquired it. I adapt to the future. So there are 2 types of companies: those who shape the future and those who adapt to the future. There's a third group of people. Most people are here. They wait, reserve the right to play. They don't act. They wait till the future becomes clean and take some baby step. Ladies and gentlemen, my point of view is that in a kind of pandemic, you better be either first part, to shape the future. You believe you are not that kind of material, please become part of the two, adapt to the future. Do you have the agility to, if not anything, copy the market leader and outpace him through the efficiency? This third option has no future whatsoever. So these are the three things we talked about it. In other words, there are four different uncertainties. I told you uncertainties in terms of clear future to totally ambiguous. Your job will be to how to become different and smart. Strategy is all about making ourselves different and smart. What I'm saying, right competitive strategy of a business post-pandemic is all about making our business, not organized company as a whole, business by business, very competitive to make it different and smart. If you are becoming different and smart, different in the eyes of the customers and smart with respect to competition. In other words, you can deliver what customer wants, which competitions are jealous about it, and you're smart, you can do it with asset light and people light. When you combine the two, you become a sustainable competitive advantage. So I will jump this part, let's leave it out. Let's go to understanding what is called business excellence. This is the area I work personally. This is where I go to great chartered accountants inside it. I told you this model. If you want to become successful in the post-pandemic era, you got to re-energize customers to tell you what are their pain points. Most customers don't tell them because you don't care about it. Most customers will tell you lies because they have no incentive to tell you the truth. But if you re-energize at this stage, chartered accountant, I'll strongly suggest that you better specialize in analytics. If you better look at everything on analytics, particularly on customer analytics and pricing analytics, to find out which customer are truly the right customer for you. There's no point going to any customer and then waste your money. So re-energize customer intimacy, that's important. For example, in banking world today, I can tell you, people say that CASA account, the current account, savings account, a bogus account. Yes, it's a bogus account because there's no money in it. But if you can really get customers who are potential customers for housing loan, car loan, and finally credit card, those CASA accounts have to be opened and serviced. So re-energize customer intimacy is a fundamental thing for you to know where to focus on. And having done that, I told you have to create a new value proposition based on the data you have collected, analytics, and then of course, reinvent the operational planning. So strategic action areas will be around these three. If I'm consulting, if I'm advising you, I'll be spending all my time in the first part, partly second, and third also. So that's strategic action area. But all this requires an organization. Who will do it? Who will do it? If the engineers, managers, MBAs, chartered accountant is living in 1820, you don't expect them to do all these things in the post-pandemic. So that's his organizational planning. And then you also need money, financial planning. And your discounted cash flow must show that the NPV, net present value, will be more than what you're spending today. And with an IRR, internal rate of return, say more than 18 to 20%, much more than weighted average cost of capital, given the risk you are taking. Now, you look at this diagram. In order to be successful post-pandemic, you've got to know better your customers, the pain point. You've got to change your value proposition, what you offer to the customer, that customers love it and competition cannot copy it. And make sure that you can reinvent your operational excellence. You can't bomb all your plant and machinery. You cannot change your building, but can you change your business process to make it so efficient that while you make all kinds of concessions to the customers, you are still efficient and get an EBITDA of 20% or more. And to make it happen, you need financial planning. Money has to come in. So somebody has to pay money to it upfront, and they have to get a confidence that you guys are the better managers to make it happen. They don't mind losing cash in the 3-4 years. They want to know when the money will come back. That's a discounted cash flow approach. And the organizational planning, you have a team available to drive your strategy. So these two, where I can see a lot of roles for chartered accountants in the future. Essentially, I'm talking about you have a new solution for customer intimacy, you have a new solution for value proposition, and a new solution for reinventing operational excellence. All your work has to move on these three areas. A part of your work on re-energizing customer intimacy, a part of your work with the value proposition, and part of your work will be on operational excellence. Look at the diagram. There are three drivers for business excellence. At this point of time, this at post-COVID area, the pandemic, the value innovation, if you look at this diagram, on the horizontal axis, delivered cost is low and high. This side is, of course, hasn't come, and the differentiation is low and high. So this box on the right-hand side, value innovation, is apparently impossible. This box is what? This quadrant is the highest differentiation and the lowest cost. Somebody told me the other day, Professor Das, is impossible. Because more differentiate you do, your cost will increase. I said, tell me, gentlemen, they're just saying that highest quality is available at lowest cost. Do you believe or not? He said, impossible. Why? Why impossible? Because I have to put a lot of inspectors, quality control man. Wrong, wrong, wrong. Highest quality can come only when everything is done perfectly, without error. And that will lead to lowest cost. And I've seen it, I run a small academy, that when I put highest of value, my cost goes down. When everything is correctly done, cost goes down. But people are wrong thinking. They believe that high quality is always associated with high cost. Wrong. So one first driver for business excellence in the post-pandemic is, do you have people who can think simultaneously highest of value addition and the lowest of cost? Very few people can do it. I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, very people. They believe they belong to a school called either or. You know what is either or culture? Either I'll do this or I'll do this. They've forgotten the world has changed. The new culture is and, A and D. I'll be high differentiation and low cost. We have to talk separately offline how to make it happen. I thrive on this area. How do you differentiate at the highest possible level and the cost is lowest?
Professor, can you just share one story? If you can share
this
one.
Came out from the original Blue Ocean strategy that any improvement that you want to do, don't jump into spending money first. Please remember, spending money is very easy. Earning money is very difficult. So anyone coming to me as a strategy consultant, I can tell you that, say I want to do it. I say, please do it. Wherever money will come. So I'll borrow from bank or from shareholders or internal accrual. Sorry, it's on my dead body. It's on my dead body. First, you eliminate some rubbish things. No, sir, we can do that efficiently. I say there is nothing more useless than doing things efficiently, which should not be done at all. A company has implemented 15 crore rupees over 10 years to implement ERP. He has 38 people. I said, now that you have implemented ultimately, thank God, how many people you need? So I need all 38 people. Then why do I need you? Why do I pay? We now have a capital intensive ERP and the labor intensive accounts department. I said, you run your department with 4 people. It's not possible. Think about it. You spend 13 crore rupees over last 3 years to make your implement. People do it in 6 months or 7 months or 8 months. You took 5-7 years, and now you're saying all the 13 will continue. Why should I keep you as a CFO? Tell me. Why should I keep you as a CFO? Such people should not be there. The first job, anything you want to do, eliminate. That means you are doing a lot of things which should not be done at all. Second, if you can't eliminate, reduce it. What you're doing it, 100 people can do it 10 people. What you're doing it, say customer service, happiness, with 3 months inventory, can you do it in 7 days inventory? What you can get orders, the market share with 2 months of outstanding, can you get it 15 days? Some days, sir, not possible. I said, tell me, do you pay to your employee's salary on day 1? Yes. Do you pay to the telecom companies on day 1? Yes. Do you pay to IIM Ahmedabad and IIM Calcutta for consulting on the day 1? Yes, sir. What to do? Yes. Become IIM Ahmedabad. Become IIM Calcutta in your industry. They'll pay. They'll pay. I have no problem with fees. I have no outstanding. I'll not go anywhere if you don't pay me upfront. Because you have to reach that stage. So please remember, you have to first eliminate, that will save your cash. Reduce, that will save your cost. These two will release the cash. This is called releasing cash. This one, raising standard in existing area and creating new opportunities. These are real value addition, these two. They will consume cash and part of the cash will come from eliminate and reduce. This is called ERRC model, ERRC. I'll never do a strategy consulting where people refuse to do this job. You please come up with an idea. Tell me where from funding will come. Sir, everything will remain same. Funding will come from internal accruals. Funding will come from additional borrowings and funding will be coming from equity holder on my dead body. On my dead body. You got to find out how you're going to do this. Third strategy to make excellence in business excellent. You have to manage supply chain risk in the post-pandemic. In the supply chain, the people strategy first. You can say it's the HR job. Why, how are you bothered about? You are bothered about. You got the entire supply chain from supplier side to engineer company, the customer side, and all service providers are actually, please remember, people, people, people. Please take care of their safety, security, have some compassion. Then evaluate your supply chain design. Please remember, if I told you about China, if you're depending on China, what will happen? Make sure that the local source of supply. You might say that cost will go up if you do that. Yeah, that's called risk management. You do value engineering, but don't put all your eggs in one basket in China and then you start crying on my shoulder. No way. There must be 2 or 3 sources, L1, L2, L3 pricing, and you optimize the engineering part, and you might actually end up saving money. And finally, please apply risk management principles in advance in supply chain. Chartered accountant must play very important role by collecting data, analyzing data. Look at this last line. People are saying today, business excellence post-pandemic, 94% of the Fortune 100,000 companies say the supply chain disruptions out of COVID-19 is going to kill them. 75% say they have a negative and strongly negative impact on the business. Having said that, look at the last point. The speed of escalation requires continuous end-to-end assessment, optimization, monitoring. Chartered accountants should and must take lead in such assessment process. In general, must rapidly shape and execute a short-term tactical plan that will mitigate the risk. In other words, I'm looking for strong data analytics capabilities are crucial in understanding complexity. We have passed CA 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago. They are history. You know, Mr. Mehta, I can tell you to all your members, those who talk in strategy, they're just saying, those who talk about history, they become history themselves. Those who talk about history, they become history themselves. And I think you have to be careful about that. I move on, and because time is too short, business leaders are acting this way now. Act today, don't wait for tomorrow. We'll be stronger tomorrow if we don't. Second is explore new opportunities. I've given some examples from an Indian context, and so many, for example, Indian business need to try to become a contract manufacturer of the world, just like China did it so many years ago. Similarly, there are many other opportunities available. Business with supply chain passing to China will need to insulate themselves. In every sector, there are good and bad companies. Management must correctly assess where to invest, where not. Separate good costs and the bad costs. Good costs are those digitization, technology investment, best employees. And the bad costs are those big fancy offices, bad performance, traditional working style. Be frugal. Maintain good behavior with people, because people will going to help you go out of the crisis and be future ready. So the roadmap for the business leader. I got a few points for chartered accountants. I'm not going to deep into it, but quickly about a business leader. I'm making a statement now. Look at this. The process of containment of the COVID and slowing up this COVID-19 is itself a disruption. Forget about a vaccine. Whether you're going to control a containment zone here or there, this city, in that city, that the entire roadmap is so uncertain that itself creates a disruption in the supply chain. Forget about a vaccine. Second, prepare for the worst, but be thankful if it does not happen. A wait and see approach will not work. There's a highly likelihood of a substantive revenue disruption leading to potential liquidity crisis. The recovery may not be quick bounce back for multiple quarters. As a matter of fact, I'll say 18 months, be ready for a cash flow problem. Employees and customers are probably experiencing fear and panic. Have empathy and compassion. I know people are sources of all problems, but people are also sources of all solutions. Please have empathy and compassion. Have generosity. These are the people who will come and help you. We need a COVID-19 war room. We also have a planned cascade of actions that must happen and enjoy the change ahead. In other words, it's time to rethink business strategy to meet challenges of COVID-19, following the 3 principles I told you: customer focused, new value propositions, and operational excellence. The chartered accountant, the time is coming out. It's only 10 minutes to 9. It's supposed to be over. Mr. Mehta, can you just tell me, my time is 10 o'clock, 10 minutes more. Am I correct?
Yes, sir, we have. Can you hear us? Yeah. Now you'll be able to hear us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have 10 minutes.
That's why the chat box was required. Anyway.
We have to take question and answers also.
I'm not hearing.
Maybe you need to plug.
Professor Ranjan Das, can you plug the mic again? Can you plug this piece again, micro piece to your system? Please plug in.
I'm not hearing, unfortunately. Manoj, can you hear me?
Manoj, can you call him? Can you call him and say to plug in this microphone?
In 10 minutes time. I'll not take anybody's time. I'm finishing it. I'm ending it in 10 minutes time.
Sure, sir. So please continue. Manoj, can you call him? Then it will be good for us.
Yeah. Can you hear me? It's there, I'll put it inside. See, we have disturbed the whole thing. So let's go ahead and do it, complete the presentation. Can you hear me? All of you, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. That's fine.
I'm not able to hear. I told you everything I was hearing. Where do I go?
Are you able to hear us now? Testing 1, 2, testing 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Testing, testing. Any sound? No, you have put yourself on mute. You have put yourself on mute.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me? Manoj, just tell me I can continue, and because let's not disturb everybody else. I'm very uncomfortable. I'm feeling very bad, horrible about me. I never done a presentation like me. It's my failure completely. I've never done it before. But let me finish it up, Mr.
Sir, first you have to unmute yourself. Sir, you have to unmute yourself first.
Jay is not able to listen to us. Why you are talking?
He is not able to listen.
Manoj has to call him.
Chartered accountant, I got his 4 recommendations.
Now it has come.
Business leader. Be a first-class knowledge resource person. Respond to special accounting challenges created by COVID-19. I got few points here. I won't have time to go back, but I picked up from my various conversation with my client companies. I'm going to tell you, and the kind of discussion I have got with my internal auditors and others, and they talk about it. I think what you need people, I do not want people who are just people who can interpret better and they can suggest what to do. I'll tell you some of the areas. Second is offer the best possible risk management solution during COVID-19 and post-lockdown. Don't tell people, don't do anything. Risk management does not mean only managing the downside. Risk management also means keeping the upside open so that you can make money. We need chartered accountant tell us, this is where you take risk, keep it safe. This is where you keep the upside open. Third, help business achieve excellence within the model. Please do all kinds of analysis on the customer front, all kinds of analysis on the operational front. Please help the manager to take the right call where to put money in terms of improving customers' efficiency and where to cut costs. It cannot be only cut cost and nothing on the customer side. We need a lot of help from the chartered accountants to help business excellence. And finally, my big question to you, are you ready to transition from a pure chartered accountant to a true business manager to claim, the key word is claim, the CXO position, CFO, Chief Strategy Officer, and Chief Executive Officer? I was once upon a time a managing director of a small company, but it is something you will never fail unless you CEO yourself. So this big leadership role I'm saying, be a knowledge, you're a master. This master is not whether you're going to rank in the CA. Nobody knows. Are you willing to give the right advice on variety of accounting areas? Number 2, can you help the company take risk, also manage the risk downside? Can you help the company achieve business excellence by providing data analytics, including big data analytics, so that a better decision is taken? And finally, are you mentally ready to become, or you want to finish your career as CFO maximum? Even CFO you cannot become with an accounting knowledge. Having said that, I just want to tell you some of the points. Impairment is one of the areas I'm interested, so don't go through it more time. So IAS 36, a lot of impairment of asset issues. I think we have a lot of work to do on goodwill and impairment of assets. So some of the areas CS must give advice to management, assumptions on the cash flows, forecast used to test the impairment should be done properly, considering the import COVID-19, budget forecast and other assumptions on an earlier impairment testing date. You should determine the recoverable amount of assets should also be revised all the time. You can't get stuck to what you have done before. The next is I'm still going IAS 36, the cash flow approach, the multiple probability index scenarios. I prefer myself, not one scenario. Estimate recoverable amount to capture the increased risk and uncertainty is a very important question. There are a range of possible outcomes. Be careful. Careful about disclosures. The disclosure requirement of IAS 36 are extensive. The testing of goodwill and infinite lived intangible assets are very important. Please remember all those things equally. IS1 presentation of financial statement to disclose major sources of estimation uncertainty. This is where I remember there's a saying in the capital market, not taking risk, your valuation will go down. Share market or capital market likes those companies that take risk, but they have a risk management system. So companies taking risk with a risk management system is one valued most. So I like to say, you disclose all the uncertainty estimation. The capital market understand it cannot be 100% uncertain. It also understand it cannot be 100% certain. Like I don't like people in the financial derivative market to use only forwards. There's no fun in only forward 100% of your exposure. Stupid. 70-30 to yourself or 80-20. You can't have everything so that when you forwards make things certain, it does not make it profitable. So I'm saying, please disclose the source of uncertainty and tell I've taken it purposely. I'm not going to be surprised by upswing, so I kept it open. Other thing is that associate and joint ventures accounting, IAS 20, inventory, property, plants and equipment issues. The number of things I've written, I've worked, research here and there, and people tell me, my friends in the Pricewaterhouse and other places, Deloitte says, tell us. We have very interesting called ECL, expected credit loss. Normally it goes more than 12 months. I'm asking a question. My view is that in the COVID situation, with information available, stay within 12 months. So the way that the ECL is measured on 12 months, the lifetime is a big challenging issue. This is what I call resource, a knowledge resource. Giving logic argument. People like me will not be able to tell you because I'm not an expert in that area. But you need a knowledge resource, and chartered accountants who are knowledge resource, they're going to fly in the air. So amount of risk if the debtors default, as an estimate result of default, all this has to be done intelligently. That's still on the first question. Other thing is that IFRS, other thing. The second part, revenue recognition, non-financial provision, contingent liabilities, going concern, and disclosure of financial risk. Next question, to help the companies in the risk management strategy. Please remember that MBAs don't understand, they can see the risk, but how to control the risk, where the risk is lying, why you are bleeding, we are not getting on a real-time basis. Many times I go for consulting, I'm not getting data. We just take decisions without knowing. The chart fantastic ability to understand where you are bleeding, just make it perfect. Loudly talk. You are the best resource in the country, in the company, to show that this is the way you are going wrong. Chartered accountants can't keep quiet like this or bookkeeping. They must come out. They are the real strategists and say, I told you, you must immediately handle the supply chain risk and of course the running financial risk like market, credit, interest, and currency. Your role is to help this diagram I told you. Please help them on financial planning. Please help them on re-energize customer intimacy. Please help them on reinvent operational excellence. Complete. The more you do it, you are making yourself qualified to become the future CEO. Have a look at it. Are you willing to become a CXO? Claim. Mind it, if you don't claim, the marketing guy will become CEO and they'll sit on your head. The supply chain guy will become your CEO. Asian Paint, a supply chain has become the managing director. Do not. You have to claim. I am the best material. You can't tell me I'm an accountant. The transition from a chartered accountant to a true business manager. This true business manager understands everything that I say to claim CXO position. I won't take risk. Shareholders will not take a risk with a person who is highly functional. He can think only accounting or finance. He cannot see the full picture. No way. No way. So I'm saying, are you a true business manager and a claim CXO position? I've suggested to you this transition. You have to shift from specialist to generalist. I just did a small story here in 2000 when Saurabh Ganguly was made captain of the Indian cricket team. I asked the manager of the Indian cricket team. I met him. He was the deputy chairman of, vice chairman of Tata Steel, and he was a board member of a company where I was also a board member. I said, how did you pick up a man who does not even know how to bat, how to bowl, and how to field? He said, there was something we noticed in the Australian team when Tendulkar said, I will not be captain. I cannot handle all these things. And there's a match fixing issue. We found somebody in a dressing room will come with chappal, will sit in a chair and asking questions. He himself bat so badly. But he asked question Tendulkar that you have batted wrongly there. He's just a player. Then there's a fight in the marketplace. He went and fought. He told Tendulkar that I want to stand in the sleep. Tendulkar said, you don't know how to fill in the cover. How can you stand in sleep? No, I am going to go sledge on Marquardt because I want to teach me a lesson. Marquardt, they're used to sledging. They went and told the commander, here's this boy, 24-year boy, he's disturbing me. You know why? He was a generalist right from beginning. That's the problem of Saurabh Ganguly. He's not a good player, neither a batsman, not a good. I think chartered accountant, after some time, has to become a generalist, not an accountant. Analyst to an integrator. You are only doing analysis. Now you integrate cross-functional input to get into a decision. Appropriate trade-off you try to do. Tactician to a strategy. Don't talk about transaction level talk. Talk about this customer should I extend credit. Normally you should not. And that customer should I not. This thing should be strategic procurement or not. The strategic thinking, what will give you a competitive advantage in the future? You have to shift yourself, not this bill passing, not this accounting, not this meeting the disclosure requirement. Go beyond that. Bricklayer to architect. Bricklayer means the person who makes the wall brick by brick. Please do expert, but you also become see the big picture. If you don't see the big picture, you cannot become a CEO. That problem solver to agenda setter. Now you're only transaction solving problem. You got to say, this is the way to proceed, do ABC. I'm telling do you ABC. Like Saurabh Ganguly, you'll get noted. Please remember, ladies and gentlemen, you can be an island in a sea of mediocrity. You can be an island in a sea of mediocrity. And the beauty is that you'll get noticed. Warrior to diplomat, not all the time you're fighting. Sometimes you also negotiate, collaborate, and that's what important diplomat, and supporting customer to lead role. Again, back to Saurabh Ganguly's example. Just be a team player. He's a great accountant, great team player, very positive, good. This is something people are trying to do, see that you don't claim the CXO position. I don't belong to that crowd. I think if I'm good, I shall claim that post is myself. For that, you have to do all those 7. When you do that, you do well. What you need to do finally in the post-COVID era, you need a strategy that you work out for your business. The criteria, there are 7 principles. Your strategy is your strategy. Nobody knows. When I go as a consultant, I ask this 7 questions. Do you have a diversity in the portfolio? If some business go down, will some business go up? The counter-cyclical cash flow and natural hedge. Do we have certain redundancy buffer? You might say, Professor Das, you are saying just now, don't have any excess flab. Yes, but some redundant buffers in assets and other resources required. I know redundancy is a waste of money, but if something unusual happens, there should be something. Third, a love and hate relationship with risk. There's no point covering all risk. Keep a significant portion risk-free, but a 30 to 20% must be taken. And please help management to get a grip on that risky area. Fast feedback. Nobody can give better than chartered accountant. Chartered accountant knows everything. Please have a system in place. Use your ERP, use any other format. Tell managers where they're going wrong. Modular and distributed design. Whatever strategy you choose, don't bring a big, what you call a wall strategy of the wall, like concrete wall. So if the wall, something goes wrong, entire concrete wall has to be broken. We need modular and distributed design. Piece by piece. Michael Dell did that. He built computers, but everything is outsourced. So that anything goes wrong, you keep changing. And other thing is that your strategy must be smart, which is digital, green, not unspoiled environment, and health. Health is the new thing added because of COVID. So whatever you do, please make sure there's a component called smart, green, and health. Somebody says, sir, cost will increase. Yes, cost will increase. But this will be your source of competitive advantage. Sir, what about the cost? Please go ahead and reduce your inefficiency across your supply chain. Look at your working capital. Look at your hundreds of people working there. Look at the wastage taking place. Cut out those 10% cost and make investment here. The time is coming. No customer will buy from you if you are not digital, if you are not green, if you are not health conscious. Cost will go up, but you cannot ask management, sir, my cost is going up, so let's go for premium customer. No. Your next innovation will be, why do I cut out that extra 10% so that I'm neutral? Finally, have empathy and compassion. It's a very difficult period. If people are demotivated, you are gone. In other words, I'm talking about reimagine and renew the future in a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world. I wish there's a video here I cannot play. I got 4 beautiful videos. I think I'm through with it. This video was, I cannot play it. Should I try once more? What? I know. Please read it what I told. Not playing now. Everything went wrong today, and we'll leave it. So, my last slide. Who will lead the next revolution? My dear chartered accountants, you have the best place to do it. But beyond your chartered accountant, beyond your things, do you have this thing in you? Without Mr. Mehta, with that, my presentation is over. Leadership and success begins with that extra effort that others don't put. Too many amongst us are afraid of ourselves. We give up our dreams to follow the majority. All successful people are minority. Do you know that? We must challenge ourselves and raise the bar. Keep raising the bar. Because only then you get to know how good you are. Excellence has always been achieved by those who dare to believe that there is something inside them is superior to circumstances. There is something inside them is superior to circumstances. Taking the road less traveled takes the courage, conviction, and authenticity. All can come from your internal understanding. And I come to the last point, ladies and gentlemen. Smooth roads never make good drivers. Smooth sea never makes good sailors. Clear skies never make good pilots. And problem-free life never makes a strong person. COVID is a great opportunity for people like you and I. Let us be strong and accept challenges of life. Let us not ask, why me? Instead of try me, enjoy the journey during COVID-19, because success is never ending. Failure is never final. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry for the trouble today. It did not work. I overshoot by 7 minutes, but if you take it, I have to take your time.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you.
I can't hear you. I know.
Thank you, Professor. I hope you can hear us. I hope
he's not able to hear us.
So thank you, Professor, for the time and great insight that you provided to us on the leadership and your valuable thoughts and experience. Members we want to take along with them. Now,
I think Manoj is talking to him. Just see if he can. His audio seems to be mute. Mic is on, but the audio is mute.
Somebody asked me to open it. That's the problem. Anyway, somebody is saying something. Let's hear. In what way? I cannot hear anything. No, I cannot hear.
No, we can hear him.
Maybe
it's on one side.
Tell them to discuss on behalf of me. Huh? I cannot hear. Tell them to discuss on behalf of me. Okay.
So
separate day. Okay. Give a hand half an hour to one. We'll select members. Okay. Tell them executive committee and meet again separately. I can't do it. And apologize on my behalf.
Manoj, thank you very much.
Question today, I can't hear you. But if you allow me, I don't mind coming for another half an hour your executive committee meeting. Only 9 of you, 10 of you, over it is there. Don't mind sitting. I love to answer questions. And if you allow me a chance. Today,
can you put it in chat box, the questions?
Platform.
Well,
how to communicate to him, that's a challenge.
So I can't hear you, Mr. Anish. You can carry on. And I offer myself 25 minutes, 30 minutes.
Why don't we put the question on his WhatsApp?
Harikishan ji, 1 second. Please, just 1 second. So, please pay regards to Professor and the learning that he shared and experience that he shared with us. I think it is very profound and it's very valuable insight that he provided to all the chartered accountants for them to pursue the path following after the COVID. And I'm sure that each one of them is going to take a lot of key takeaways from here. Now, I would like to call upon our executive committee members to do the vote of thanks, and following which the members can pose a question to us and we can share with the professor, and then probably can have some understanding from him on the way to answer all our queries. Thank you. Over to you, Sangeeta.
Thank you, Anurag. Professor Ranjan Das, I know you can't hear us, but thank you very much for your talk on the current situation. While the start was slow with technological challenges, we definitely caught up in the second half. Your thought process will hold us in good stead as we face the new world and equip ourselves with life transitional skills. As they say, and as you also rightly mentioned in your presentation, logic will get us from A to Z, but imagination will get us everywhere. And that's the need of the hour. Dear members, thank you for joining on a festive holiday. I'm sure this was good food for thought, though with interruptions. Apologies for that. This is really going to help us in the various stages of our life. I'd like to thank our principal sponsors, Danube, Tally, Lulu, Shruva, Malabar Gold and Diamonds, Platinum Sponsorers, Century Financial, AGMC, Preston Menon, MMGS, CRIF, Dun & Bradstreet, Clyde & Co., IFCO, Al Rawabi, Gulf Islamic Investments. Thanks to our media partners, Khaleej Times, institutional partners, DPS, and banking partners, Bank of Baroda. Thanks to all the managing committee. Everybody must be bracing up for work tomorrow after a long Eid weekend. So good luck to all of us till we meet again. Khuda Hafiz, Namaste. Over to you, Anurag.
Thank you, Sangeeta ji, for your thanks, and thank you everyone for joining us today. We wish you a very happy evening, and wish you good luck for the week forward. Great work to start. Take the learning from today's session and implement it. Because implementation is key. You always think, but now the time to implement. So thank you very much once again, and we'll see you in the next session. Have a great
Thank you
evening.
all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Thanks.
Should I end the meeting?
Yeah, you can, Anish.